So once we've gotten the kids to bed and I've played a little Wordle or done my 10 minutes of Duolingo.
Both of us have always been open to each other, saying, we've never really talked about it.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Exposing SMG. Oh my god, there is so much to talk about in the worlds of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Meghan's cover story for Variety is now out, and there's a lot of scandalous information to go over. Harry's also doing some appearances and claiming he's never heard of therapy while growing up in the royal family, so there is so much to discuss. Let's start with how Meghan is now throwing someone else under the bus. I never got a chance to discuss the cover story that Meghan did for the New York magazine The Cut, written by Allison P. so if you guys want a separate video on that, let me know. But basically, her interview was criticized because it was very out of touch with reality and very transparent, as most Meghan interviews are. She insulted and criticized the royal family as per usual, and now she seems to regret it, considering the Queen has passed away and Miss Meghan was shedding one artistic tear at her funeral. Check out my video on that. In her interview with Variety, she shared her reaction to the Cut interview. She's asked by Matt Donnelly, "You've done 2 major interviews since returning to America. One with Oprah Winfrey and the other with New York Magazine, which some found to be snarky. What has it been like to open up about your life now?" To which she says, "The New York story was intended to support archetypes and focus on our projects. I've had some time to reflect on it. Part of me is just really trusting, really open. That's how I move in the world. I have to remember that I don't ever want to become so jaded that that piece of me goes away. So despite any of those things, onward, I can survive it." And then she starts yapping about archetypes and says, "I choose to include something that I feel is fair to them and also uplifting, and something we can all learn from." So basically, Meghan is so open and so trusting that she's so hurt that she was portrayed in a snarky way in the interview with The Cut. She's also implying that she was portrayed in a way that wasn't fair and uplifting like she is on archetypes. And of course, she is throwing blame toward The Cut and the woman behind the article, Allison P. a well-accomplished Black journalist. Someone on Twitter made a great point, saying that this woman has had a PR agent on speed dial for the past 15 years. Now we are to believe that she's not media savvy? Please. Brooke Hammerling, a communications veteran and writer for Pop Culture Mondays on Medium, calls out Meghan on Twitter. Brooke writes, "I have defended Meghan Markle when virtually no one around me will. But it's hard to do when she gives an interview to Variety saying she was too open and trusting with Allison P. and The Cut. I know the comms people she has worked with, they are the best. She was well prepared." And apparently, Meghan got Allison fired because after the interview came out, Allison tweeted that she was going on an extended vacation for the first time in a very long time. Do you guys think that this is just a coincidence, or did Meghan call up The Cut and complain about Allison? Let me know. Either way, it's insane how she'll throw anyone under the bus to save her image. I wrote on Twitter, "Now that the Queen has passed away, Meghan Markle is backtracking on what she was saying, placing blame on Allison P. who wrote her cover story for The Cut. It's absolutely despicable how she'll throw anyone under the bus for her image. No sense of accountability." So much for women's empowerment and sticking by women and the fake feminist BS that she preaches, am I right? Also, Allison didn't portray her in any way in The Cut. Meghan is responsible for how she is perceived, and it's not any writer's fault that she always comes off as arrogant and spoiled. It's also funny how she's trying to preserve some connections and good publicity with the royal family now that the Queen has passed, even though she had no problem spewing BS for years prior. In the interview with The Cut, she said, "There's literally a structure by which if you want to release photos of your child as a member of the family, you first have to give them to the Royal Rota, the UK media pool," she explains. She was literally complaining about royal protocol that the royal family entails, yet had no problem running back to them when she needed some publicity. She then also claimed that many little girls have come up to her and said, "Oh my god, a real-life princess," and that she's coming back to Instagram, but that made no noise whatsoever. So that interview was published on August 29th, and less than a week later, the Queen passed away on September 8th. Meghan was supposed to do the cover story for Variety in September, but that was pushed back following the Queen's death, and the story seems to have been rewritten to paint her days in the royal family in less of a negative light as she's so used to doing. The headline is literally, Meghan Markle lets her guard down, on grieving Queen Elizabeth, producing with Harry and returning to Hollywood. How many times are we going to talk about Meghan's return to Hollywood for 2 years? Like, you've been in Hollywood for 2 years. It's not anyone else's fault that you did not get hired and you guys didn't do any memorable work. But of course, she wanted the interview to be rewritten to include her so-called mourning. She was asked about how her and Harry have been mourning the loss of Queen Elizabeth II, and Meghan of course rambled on about herself first. She said, "There's been such an outpouring of love and support. I'm really grateful that I was able to be with my husband to support him, especially during that time. What's so beautiful is to look at the legacy that his grandmother was able to leave on so many fronts. Certainly in terms of female leadership, she is the most shining example of what that looks like. I feel deep gratitude to have been able to spend time with her and get to know her. It's been a complicated time, but my husband, ever the optimist, said. Now she's reunited with her husband." Anyways, then she was asked, "Has anything come up for you in your relationship with the Queen since her passing?" To which she said, "I've reflected on that first official engagement that I had with her, how special that felt. I feel fortunate, and I continue to be proud to have had a nice warmth with the matriarch of the family." It's funny that she wasn't once questioned about all the lies she spewed about the Queen. And now that she's passed, Meghan claims that she had such a nice warmth with the matriarch, as if the matriarch wasn't calling you out for lying, saying, "Recollections may vary." It just feels so cold that Meghan is pretending that she hasn't caused agony and unleashed hell on the Queen, especially in her final days or even final months. There's a reason why she wasn't invited to be by her side in her final moments. And rumor has it that Harry missed saying goodbye to his grandmother due to a fight he had with Meghan about her not being invited. But my issue with Meghan is always her lack of accountability. First, throwing the author of the cut story under the bus because there was a negative reaction to the interview. I mean, has Meghan ever for a second thought that maybe she is the issue? That people see right through her and it's not any writer's fault? Secondly, pretending like she had a warm relationship with the Queen as if Meghan wasn't accusing her of racism in the public eye. I mean, as we can see, Meghan was relentless with the PR narrative in the beginning, especially in 2021. But now that her popularity has gone down the toilet in America the way it has in the UK, she's backtracking based on what's going to bring her the most approval. Also, my issue with Meghan in interviews is that everything she says has to be some big spectacle, if you know what I mean. Like, just answer the question. You don't have to be fake deep every time you open your mouth, and then you wonder why no one can stand to listen to you. For example, she was asked about what she and Harry are watching together, and instead of getting to the damn point, she spends 30 seconds talking about herself playing Wordle and trying to learn French since she used to know French in high school, and then she claims it's very rare for them to watch something before bed.
So once we've gotten the kids to bed and I've played a little Wordle or done my 10 minutes of Duolingo, I really wanted to relearn French. I had studied it for the 4 years in high school, and then it just went away.
Then she rambles on about endless searching to find something to watch like everyone else does, #relatable, only for her to say that there are just so many amazing pieces of work and how there's nothing like great storytelling, only for her to say that she watches The White Lotus. Like, you have to be kidding me. And then she wonders why no one can stand to hear her talk. This video is already getting long enough, so if you guys want me to do another video discussing her Variety interview, let me know. I really want to because she said some other crazy things in there that I want to discuss with all of you. I will be talking about her rebranded image in my next video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Now before I end this video, let's talk about Harry. Prince Harry said that growing up in the royal family and spending 10 years in the military, he never heard the words therapy or coaching. And then the blinkers came off and his life changed. Just like his wife, he throws everyone under the bus too. First of all, the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Catherine, have done a lot of work for mental health. Let's give Harry the benefit of the doubt and say he's a little slow so he's not aware of what his brother and sister-in-law have done. But oops, we have him here on candid camera in 2016 posing with them for a Heads Together event. And Heads Together is a mental health organization in the UK. This is an organization they literally started up together. He's acting like the royal family's beliefs on mental health are ancient, but the three of them literally started a mental health organization. And what does mental health entail? Therapy, coaching, and everything else Harry claims he never learned with the royal family. Just because you choose a different synonym for something does not mean that you never learned about it. And here's the three of them for a heads together conversation in 2017, where Kate is saying that having these mental health conversations is like a form of medicine. Basically, they're talking about therapy and venting. They even talk about how if one person is struggling, everyone around them is as well. And Harry even references that in military terms.
As you said, it's like almost like a form of medicine. Family, friends, everyone that cares about you, so you've got that one individual in the middle, and then no one really, especially with the veterans piece as well, all the focus always seems to be on the individual with the injuries.
Exactly.
If it's physical injuries, then it's supposedly easier because you can see those injuries, where if it's hidden wounds, then no one can see that, but still that person is the focus. But the effect that has on them, their family and their friends is huge because people care about you.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his problem is and why he's trying to paint his days as a working royal as something from the 1800s medieval times, and it's Meghan who helped him see the light, but they're both disrespectful liars. If you're gonna expose the royal family, try not exposing yourselves while we're at it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think and what you want to see me cover next. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's keep Meghan and Harry in our prayers because they are suffering from DLS, delusional liar syndrome, and be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Follow us on our social media, and as always, I'll see you next time.